That's the run. Okay, we got pins here.
We need to make some room for some more bikes, please. You can squeeze them in. I don't want to do it for you. I know you move around and stuff. So help us make some room, everybody. Thank you.
Everything look on the screen like
3, 2, 1, go!
okay, we're cooking with grease.
That's hard to see. Hey, good job. It's the new SensThys Race equipment. It's a reader antenna built into one. Your external antennas hook up to it. Power over Ethernet. So I've got, you see, I got plenty of Ethernet cord there. I can run this however far I need. But 4 antennas tracking entry and exit point of a Triathlon. Automatic photo capture with the chips, recording the finish, turn around, and I've also got a camcorder over there recording them running up the hill. Good job. 5:05, 5:15, 5:14. Alright, so we've got a camera here recording the entry and exit of the transition. This transition is really nice because I can tackle it all with one reader. And in fact, I'm using the SensThys Race SensThys Race Pro system, the race timing kit. Really nice because I just run one Ethernet cord from my power supply, and they provide, I think, a 50-foot long cord, or maybe 30. It's plenty long. I just run it out to here. It's power over Ethernet. So I just run one cable. The antenna, the 3 other antennas hook up to the main antenna, which is a reader antenna in one, all in one unit. You can even daisy chain these if you needed to hook up more than one main unit. I don't know if you can see that down there, but it's got multiple ports at the bottom. And so, yeah, so I got SensThys Race antennas here, just 4 connected to that one main unit. I've got a camera there taking pictures, as you saw. I went ahead and set a camcorder up here to record the swim finish as I come up the hill. And then I've got a camcorder over there that records, the back exit and also the run exit. So I do that for a couple reasons. I like to upload them to YouTube so people can watch them. But also, of course, it's just a nice backup system. So if someone ever was missed or anything, or if there's any confusion about times or whatever, I can always go back and reference the video. With the camcorders, you want to test this. Some camcorders will not record while it's charging, but I try to buy some that record and charge. That way you can go basically all day with recording. So I got like a 32 gigabyte card in there. But I got a camcorder here, one over there, and I've got also one here just because I had an extra one. So I've got one over there on the tripod, so that whenever they make that turn after grabbing their bike or racking their bike, it'll record the turn too. So I'll upload all those to YouTube and let them see them all. So, but yeah, this is the Branson Triathlon. And the way they do it, again, this race director always does this with these races, which is really good, is that they finish the swim. Good job, man. right, it's 5:11. And sure enough, 5:11. But yeah, they finished the swim. Now you got to exit your bike that way.
Okay.
Yeah. Gotcha. Just make sure. And they're not supposed to mount their bike till they get past the line. Now, it's not a big deal. You know, the UHF RFID reads super fast, but when they come off the bike, they're supposed to dismount here, and then they just go across slow. So really tracking them is a piece of cake with RFID, so no concerns at all. We're using the Hue tag, of course, worn on the outside of either leg, so it's flawless in how it works. It's 5:12, 5:05. But yeah, that's the setup. Now, I did have a tag check station this morning with a little Thinkified TR200 reader, and so I had this laptop connected to the TV. I've already moved the tripod out of the way, actually under the table there. But yeah, so I had it where when people picked up their tags, we scanned it, showed all the information on the screen, make sure they register online right, make sure we also program the tags right, and so it's always a really cool feature. But yeah, so next after this lady finishes, we'll see how many's left on the course.
Good job.
Great job.
It was rough today, it seemed like.
Yeah, good job.
Yeah, thank you.
Oh, that's my favorite part, the runner's high.
I struggled with that.
5:14. Well, this camera's having trouble focusing here. So let's see how many times we don't have. So we've got, now the software shows everyone is marked DNS. Again, I don't know if you can see this on the screen. But the ones with the line through it, we marked all the people that didn't pick up their bibs as did not start. And so all the sprint triathlon finishers have come in. Let's make sure that all, yeah, so every swimmer, every person that showed up has come in from the swim. So, all right, now we're ready for the bikers to come in.
We'll make another.
Okay, so let's check to see if everyone has left. So I scroll down here and I see that every person has got 2 of 4 splits completed. So I've set this computer up so it's going to track 4 splits. Of course, the swim finish, T1, the bike finish, T2, and at the finish line, of course, we'll track the run. And it looks like everybody except for one, which it must be 5:04. Let's see. Everyone but 5:04 has, yep. So whenever he comes back through on the bike, it'll show laps 2 of 4 completed. So that'll be something you can check to make sure that you didn't miss anybody in the mix. So yeah, we're good to go. Yeah, I was surprised a lot of people haven't timed a triathlon before. When you get your first triathlon, it may be kind of intimidating because obviously it's a new event. You got a lot of splits and different things. The important questions to ask, of course, you got to know the layout of the transition. Some triathlons I've timed, we got to have 3 separate read zones. And some, like this one, luckily, I can use 1 reader and be just fine. Now, I did bring a whole backup set, actually, I think 2 readers, and so if I had to set up 3, I could. I think this is just my spare parts tub, so it's hard to see in there, but I got readers and antennas and cables. And so if I needed to set up another transition zone, I could. My head timer's also got a second set of equipment. But yeah, so luckily we were able to do everything with 1 set here. But the good news is with triathlons, a lot of them are smaller than your regular road race. You're not going to have typically 400 or 500 people unless it's a really big name event, of course. And so, you know, our first triathlon, we were kind of intimidated. Like, you know, we kind of went overboard on making sure everything is good, and we've kind of got a little more comfortable with them. So the triathlon's done and I'm starting to tear down. Before I did, I wanted to record a video to show you, you know, this is the SensThys Race. It didn't miss any reads at all. It wasn't a large race. It's probably, I think, 52 people registered, and we probably had, I don't know, 45 or so that actually ran across the 2 events. Actually 3 events if you count the 2 teams that were in a relay. But, you know, this station with, you know, it by itself was capturing 4 times for each person. So 4 times that number, so a couple, you know, 120 or so reads, and so did pretty good. Actually 160 or so. I can't do math when it's been, you know, obviously we got here late. It's like a 4.5 hour drive to get here, and then a couple hours of sleep and you get up and got a time. So earlier I mentioned, so I wanted to show you this. This is the entire system. So you got your Ethernet cables, your antenna cables, your main reader, your antennas. Of course, you want to power it with a battery backup, just in case you lose power at the finish line somewhere. That'll keep it going. I haven't tested it with that reader specifically, but when I've tested it with like the 7400 or the FX 7500 or 9500, 9600, which I have some of those right here. When I test it with those, whenever in this, I lay a tag in front of the antenna and have it reading the entire time, and it works for a little over 3 hours. So my assumption is this reader would do the same. I haven't done that yet, but the good news is, like I said, a battery backup, that's a must for any race timer, or something more robust than that, but at least a battery backup. And then, so you want that, you want some antennas, of course, some tripods, if you're going to mount them like I do, just quick and easy to transport, easy to store, but that is the entire setup. One thing I want to mention also in this video, because I mentioned it in the other video, is that I mentioned about timing a triathlon actually being a lot easier than I expected. Let me qualify that a little bit. Any race, to me, some of the harder ones are the 5Ks, because I mean, obviously, if you've got a really competitive group, you may have 15 minutes from the start to get all the volunteers trained if you hadn't done that already, get everything in place, turn everything on, and get everything going. And so when you are timing a triathlon, you have a little more time and all. But with any type of race, doesn't matter what type of race it is, you really should be doing, when I talk about it being easy, the assumption is you've done all the work before race day to make sure the divisions are set up right, the race is good to go, you know exactly where runners are coming from, you know exactly where the finish line's at, you know exactly where the transitions are, where everything's going to be at. So, you should always do enough, obviously make sure everything's fully charged, your memory cards are empty or, have plenty of space in them. So make sure that you know all your stuff before you show up. That's what makes it easy. So when I talk about it being not as difficult as a 5K, that's what I'm talking about. So, but yeah, I just wanted to make sure I qualify that.